Good day, everyone. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to do a comprehensive guide to how I use parallel channels. And we're going to start with some simpler examples and go into some more advanced examples. And just showing how you can predict parallel channels forming and use them for confluence for nice trade entries. So this example on Gala is a pretty straightforward one. And the idea here is we're going to look at a lower time frame channel and a higher time frame one. So this is the 1 hour. The idea here is using the lows to give you your angle and this high as your anchor. So people often ask me, how did you predict a channel, or how did you trade this channel? There was no channel, right? Because here there is no channel because there's only one touch of the highs. Well, you can predict a channel forming when you have this low, this impulse, and then you use this as your anchor. You can see price moves right up into the top of this channel. And so you form a channel, but you can use that as confluence. Now we can even go into a lower time frame because price actually often is moving in some type of parallel channel. And we can see here, let me redraw this time reset. I'm even go to the 5-minute chart. This channel you were able to draw it by using the lows and then using this as an anchor. And you could draw it before this high came in. You get really nice confluence where you see price moving up into the top of this channel as it hits this higher time frame channel too. So you kind of have channel confluence, I guess, in a sense. That wasn't dragged over all the way. But you've created an angle for your channel with the lows and an anchor at the highs. And so that's, ultimately the high of Gala's price action here. So now let's look at some other examples. I recorded this video twice. I think I can't remember which ones I've actually done because I messed up something on the recording. But let's look at Tesla here. So Tesla, I actually predicted this as a high at the day that it was hit because I have this channel idea already drawn out. And it might look obvious now, but if you rewind price to here, this channel isn't so obvious, right? Because you remove this. I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine predicting a high from this. But the idea is you're using this trend angle as the anchor, and this, or sorry, as the these lows as the trend angle. This high is the anchor for the potential parallel channel top. And you're using these middle touches as confluence that you might be in an ascending channel. When you're interacting with the center line of a theoretical channel, it gives you a better likelihood that this is a valid channel. So as price progresses, let's speed this up a little bit. We get this big impulse and it goes right into the top of this channel. And so that's where I tweeted, is there anything else to say, Tesla? Now, I obviously had I have friends and stuff who own Tesla, want to buy Tesla, people buying here. They're like, I think it's going to break out to $2,500, whatever it is. People want to buy this. Like, that's their emotional reaction. I sent a lot of people this channel, and I said, I would consider actually selling off your position until maybe you break this ascending channel. But, for a lot of people, a lot of the traditional wisdom would be it's impossible to predict a high like this or to time a high. In my experience, you can actually do it quite reliably with these types of channels across stocks and cryptocurrencies. Price is oftentimes moving through these channels, and we'll look at some other examples here. So another example would be Luna. I think I deleted it. But when price was down here, I actually I've tweeted about this, so whatever. There'll be examples. I had identified this potential channel idea when price was down here with an Elliott wave count up to the top of the channel at $119 months before it happened. And again, you can use this as the angle and this as the anchor. And I'm just going to keep showing this example so it's cemented in. you don't, that's all you need to create this channel. You can do it before the high comes in. And so you're predicting a channel forming by using, you have your angle, you have your anchor. And as price moves up, we form a top at this channel. And that's when the channel's the most powerful, I think, is when you don't actually have your second touch yet. Most people are always waiting for the channel to form. Touch, 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 touch. Oh, you have a parallel channel. Well, you had one, and now you don't. So this is how I like to use channels, and I think most people use them improperly. So let's look at this XRP idea here. Obviously, we had this nice trend line. We're actually going to look at some log scale examples too. We had this nice trend line. It wasn't actually quite a channel, but you could have done something kind of interesting here with using this trend line as your angle, using this as your anchor, and you pretty much would have got the low of this wick. So you could have drawn it, all you needed to, all the information you needed here. It's just sort of the opposite of what we've done for ascending channels, is you have your trend angle, your anchor, and then you know you get that low, and then you get that perfect interaction in the middle. And you'd be surprised how often you see that. I would suggest using some additional confluence, but these channels are very powerful. Usually you'll find something else to coincide with them as potential resistance or support. So as price progresses here, I'll just skip ahead actually. I'm going to look at, this is a recent XRP short I took. We had two channel ideas here. We had this ascending channel idea, and again, using this as your angle, an anchor, perfect touch at the top. And then we had another channel idea, I think it was right here, which we kind of wicked through. And there was confluence here as well with fibs. So this is something, I think there's so much alpha in pulling channels this way. It's insane on every time frame. And I don't actually think most people do. And in my opinion, I think most people use parallel channels improperly and don't understand how powerful they are. So let's look at sand here. Now, when you have big parabolic moves like this, you know, you're not going to get an ascending channel. But when you go to log scale with parabolic moves, oftentimes you'll find price is moving in a parallel channel. You have your trend line, you have your anchor, you have your high. It's a really powerful tool to find the high of a move like this, right? Where it seems almost impossible. But with a parallel channel, you can find some pretty powerful ideas. We're going to look at some more of these. Here's a log scale channel on EGLD. Doesn't look very good here, but on log, you have a beautiful channel idea. But the thing I'll point out here is this one would have been quite hard to spot. You might have not got the high of this move with this channel, but if you did something like this, even if you didn't use it to find the high, you would have found this bounce and this bounce, right? Still 130% move. You have to be pretty precise in a sense with your log scale pulls, because even just a fraction off can make a little bit of a difference. So that can mean if you're trading them a log scale channel, you might need to give a little bit of room to breathe. Maybe front run the entry a little bit, give it room to lose the channel. But the great thing about ascending or descending channels, if you're trading them with the direction of price action, your invalidation can be pretty tight, because you just, once you lose the ascending channel, you're kind of, you're wanting to be out of that position. Okay, so we're going to look at FTM. I don't even have anything pulled here. I'm aware of this channel because I traded it. You have this beautiful descending channel. This is not on log scale, where you have these really nice touches of the highs, the lows, and all of these offered such great ideas for positions. And there was so much added confluence because on these rallies, they were all golden pockets as well. Golden pocket. Yeah. So that's something you would want to really hone in on. If you have this channel interaction with the 618, trading this up into the channel, it's just very nice. And obviously getting nice interaction at the middle of the channel as well. So again, you can pull this before this even happens. Let's go here. Could have even, let me just actually, one thing you can do is just extend left, extend right. So you have your angle, you have your anchor. You have it here, right? Let me actually go back and pull it further back just so it's clear. You have all the information you need to start forming this idea with just this as these are your trend lines, your anchors, and you just get all this beautiful interaction. These are 60–70% moves. Essentially, no drawdowns on positions trading these channels on the touches. But channels can break, so you always need to use risk management. They're not going to, exist forever. So this is probably one of the most dramatic examples, and I shared this channel at the time of, we'll go to this log scale channel, which is the yellow one, in a second. But let's look here at this channel. So how did I form this channel before this high came in? Because if you look at this back here, this looks like a ridiculous channel, right? And the reason I did it is I used this consolidation as it's actually very similar on Tesla, as my trend angle. I use this as my anchor. And I'm looking at this kind of interaction with the middle as confirmation that this might form into a channel. It's a very strange one, but it ends up being really useful. And I posted about AVAX right here. I posted this channel idea because what you're looking for with a parallel channel is you're looking for, you want your trend angle and you want your anchors, and you're looking for interaction on the middle line, or you can go as far as producing a fib channel. Where is that fib channel? And you can look for interaction with key fib levels on your fib channel. That can be more confirmation, but it can be a little finicky using fib channels. Oftentimes, your center line is a good indicator. Yeah, so that is parallel channels. Oh yeah, let's go to the log scale channel here. This one isn't super clean. What you have is a very nice clean trend line at the highs, but your angle isn't quite perfect. So if you use this as your angle, you would have misjudged the high. But if you just pulled this as a trend line across the highs, let me go to here. And the reason I'm pointing this out is because I think if you have two touches and you front ran a touch here, you might just want to use the angle of the highs as your trend line and your anchor. If price had just kind of come like this, and you didn't have this second touch of the highs as another kind of idea for your trend, then you probably would use the lows. But if you have two highs and you're coming up here, I think using these highs as your trend angle would make sense, and just accepting it's not going to maybe be the cleanest channel. Still worthwhile to use though here on log scale. So let's what I want to do is I want to pop over to a random coin. You know what? Let's just go to sand. I just want to go up to a low time frame and just see, I don't know if it either will or it won't, if price is moving in a parallel channel on any time frames here. Something I haven't looked at yet. Just see how you might start finding some of these ideas. Let's go here, parallel channel. And this looks quite suspect, right? So you have kind of a couple ideas here. Well, one would be, is if, hold on, let me just remove these extensions. Let's just see what would have happened if you'd pulled this as your angle. So you would have gotten, just from this trend line, you would have gotten this nice interaction here. Could make this more precise. You certainly have some ideas into the lows of this channel. This looks like a pretty clean trend line as well. I'm just looking to pull, now I'm looking to form two different channels here. One with the trend line coming from the highs, which this can be adjusted because we have a new high now, and the lows as your anchor. That would have worked quite nice. And one with the trend line coming from the lows with the highs as the anchor. So you would have gotten this low to the cent, right? Because you have this as your angle, this as your anchor, give or take a fraction here. And that would have been a nice long, just based off of touch, high, anchor, low. That gives you your target. And you can pull this back here. So that's a low time frame channel. I bet you we could even find some scalps on the 5-minute chart here based on parallel channels. You don't always get them, but let's see. This would not have offered anything too good. Let me pull it in reverse. When you have ranging price action like this, where it's more in horizontal ranges, you don't really always get great parallel channel interaction. Although this would have given you pretty well this low. It's not a very steep channel. It's more of a range where you use this as your angle, this is your anchor, you come back down, retest it. But you could also just look at this as a horizontal level that you're taking because it's so shallow. I'm going to do one more on the 1-hour chart. Let's just look at how price has been progressing here. This already looks very likely to be interesting. I'm pulling old channels to see what kind of interaction you would have gotten, because it's very easy to say what you would have done, but in reality, you know, you would have pulled this here first, right? You would have had this as your trend anchor. It would have given you a nice trend line to trade. This is your high. Let me delete this for a second. You would have a middle of a channel. You would have lost this channel. So, but this would have offered a nice idea because you could have traded this trend line up into the middle of the channel. So that would have been a nice take profit. Obviously, you could even have considered scalping short there. Let's look at this. That's beautiful. So then after that new low was made, you would have repulled this angle. And this is an example where this is probably a 618 on a fib channel. Pretty close. So it's basically your golden pocket of your fib. Let's go here, 0.65 fib channel. But what you can see, and this is something I've done in the past too, is you have your angle, and sometimes if you pull your anchor just from another significant high, you get nice interaction. I wouldn't commonly recommend using channels that way, but you can do it. You have this ascending idea. This is this is another likely ascending channel that is forming. Again, you're gonna have to repull these as they progress, right? Because this was your low. It would have given you nice long, nice middle interaction, but now you have broken that ascending channel, and you might be forming a new one. But because of the nice middle interaction here, this would be something worth keeping on your chart. This comes down a little bit. Because you can see we're getting interaction with the middle of this channel. Kind of. Here, here, here. And so if you pull now a fib retracement from this low, nice, it's a perfect 618 bounce. If we come back down and retest this level here, you'd have a nice swing failure of these lows locally, another retest of the local 618, and another touch of the ascending channel idea. But if price has a parabolic move, I would certainly be interested in looking at something like this. And a great way to set alerts on parallel channels is to draw a line and then make the line the alert right before the channel is hit. So you can right click it, and you can go add alert on ray. And you can even rename it parallel channel. So if it pops up on your phone, you're aware of what's actually happening here. I spelled parallel wrong, but that's fine. So this would be a way to potentially find a really nice short if we have a parabolic move, and you can do the same to the downside. Let me oh, I haven't timed it right. So if it comes in here when we hit this 618, I also will set a horizontal alarm. This could be really nice. Probably a level I'm interested in shorting. So this is how I plan out trades with parallel channels and key fibs. It's a really powerful tool. I hope this video was useful for you guys and enlightening. This little end bit might have been a little scattered because I was just trying to form ideas. But I think of all the ideas, I was looking at things I might have seen. Now I'm looking at something that I might be interested in, a new idea based off of how I like to use parallel channels. And of course, you could do the same to the downside locally. And put your ray like this, and make this an alert as well. So you have kind of an idea currently for an ascending and descending channel. You can add the alert. So anyways, let's see what happens. Here, it's just a nice example, and obviously we're getting interaction with the middle of this descending channel as well. This would actually be a beautiful interaction. The middle of the descending channel, the bottom of this ascending channel, and this local 618 retest swing failure of these lows come in right around here. So we'll see. I'm actually going to add an alert for that as well, and maybe trade it. All right. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.